Welcome back to Dying Light 2. I've been playing on my own time for a little bit, and I've learned a few more things that I wanted to sort of come in and share with you folks. A couple of them have to do with interesting mission scripting issues. So the first one, this is actually what I'm going to do a little bit later in this episode. Over here, I've got this side quest. It's about halfway through right now. Like, I finished the first half of the side quest, and the second half of the side quest needs to be done. The problem is I've actually done the second half of the side quest twice now. But every time I leave the game and come back, the second half of this side quest returns. And so I don't know, for some reason I've just got this repeatable side quest that's just coming back again and again and again. I don't know if this is just really unique to my game, if it's a very rare bug, or if it's actually a really common scripting error that lots of people are running into and that hopefully will end up being fixed in a later update. But I find it amusing. So, because I've been avoiding story content, because, I don't want to have to try to get really sort of emotionally immersed in story content while I'm also hosting all of you as my guests. I've been avoiding playing story content, but this one, because I've already seen it twice, if you want to see how story content plays out in this game, this might actually be a really good place to check it out. So I'm going to head down there, but before I go over there, I'm going to go to this military convoy. Now, I've got somebody, I don't know if he's in the chat anymore, but one of my followers on Twitch, Z Peekins, actually commented on YouTube in one of my previous Dying Light videos, giving me some advice for dealing with military convoys. And his advice was actually really, really critical for me sort of understanding how they worked. So I just wanted to, so you may remember that in one of my previous episodes, I actually expressed like extreme trepidation even dealing with military convoys. Like, they looked so scary. I was like, I'm not even trying this. So I have tried it now, and actually, you know what? They're not that bad. And they're pretty rewarding. So I'm going to try to find this one that's on my map. Oh, one other thing. So speaking of issues with missions, while we're en route, I should tell. So I just got to a certain point in the story where I'm working for two different factions at the same time. I'm working for the Peacekeepers, which are sort of the cop-themed faction, and I'm also working for the Survivors, which are more of the civilian mutual aid type group. They both have their good guys and their bad guys within their factions. I think they're deliberately trying to set them up so that you don't feel you can work for either one of them without feeling like you're a bad guy. They're not trying to make you, decide good or evil. They're making you decide just, which faction you think needs your support the most, or maybe deserves to have more control over the city. So I'm pretty early in that process still, and I just completed a series of missions for what were the names? I think it was Sophia and Barney, or Sophie and Barney. For the Survivors, and there was this moment where they had me make a choice, where basically Sophie, was that her name? Sophie was threatening my life, and I had to respond. She was like, "Give me one good reason why I shouldn't kill you." And they treated this like a very important choice. Like, some of your choices, they just leave the choice open. And you can just sort of take it at your leisure. And sometimes they have a bunch of alternate choices that you can make that have nothing to do with progressing the dialogue. But this one was one of the ones with a timer. They stuck a timer on the choice, and they're like, you have to choose one of these. You've got 15 seconds to decide which one you're going to do. And so it felt like an important choice. And my options were to say either we could help each other or try me. So she was saying, give me a reason why I shouldn't kill you. And so, or like why I should trust you, or something like that. And so what I interpreted those choices to mean was, I thought, we can help each other was sort of like a mercenary type attitude. Like, hey, you should let me live because I can help you in some sort of tangible, we'll make a trade kind of way. And so that felt kind of like, oh, you should help, you should keep me around pragmatically, but I'm not really your friend. I'm not really your ally. And I read try me to mean, take a chance on me. I promise I really am your friend. That's how I took that to mean. And so I was like, okay, I'll say try me, because I actually really want to be friends with these people. As much as, I appreciate the positive sides of what the Peacemakers are trying to do, the survivors are actually trying to get like water for their people to survive for the next month. And I was like, they have the much more urgent need. They need my allegiance more than the peacekeepers do. So I really wanted to devote myself to them. So I chose try me. It turns out what try me meant to the writer was, oh yeah, you think you can kill me? Why don't you give it a try? It's an aggressive response. And so it basically came across to me that what I had done by saying try me was choose the peacemakers. Now, that was the very last thing I did in the story. So I don't actually know how it progresses from here. It could be that I'll have future opportunities to choose between the peacemakers and the survivors. But that moment, the fact that I made a choice where I felt like I was saying, I want to be your friends, survivors, and instead I was rejecting the survivors in favor of the peacemakers, that felt really, really crappy to me. I really did not like the way that that played out. But it kind of, when you're designing a dialogue system, it's really, really difficult, because one of your options is just tell the player the exact line they're going to say. But then you have to have the player read the entire line, and then when they select it, you have to either skip it or have the character speak the line you've already read. And it can feel like it's very slow-moving and dull. And so in order to sort of keep things feeling like they're moving at a satisfying clip, a lot of times you'll instead tell the player the sort of a summary of what they're going to say, but then you still hear the character deliver it. But then writing that summary becomes extremely important, because how you write it and what you tell the player in that moment really determines how they're going to view their own choices. And if you get a mismatch where a player reads it one way and actually it intended the opposite, you can have a massively disappointed player. And particularly in this game, there's no like saving. I don't have a save game button. I can't like save the game and then come back to it. All of my choices are irrevocable. So once I made that choice, like if I really am locked in now to being an ally of the peacekeepers, which I suspect is probably not the case, if I were locked in right now, I would be so annoyed because I would hate to have made that kind of huge binary game defining decision on such scanty evidence of what it was going to do. So there we go. Yeah, so Z Peekins is suggesting that I should stick with one faction for the sake of rewards. And yeah, so it's interesting because it does feel like, the developers are assuming that a lot of their players are going to sort of naturally gravitate towards the survivors and against the cops. And so it feels like they're actively trying to make the survivors as unappealing as possible, so to balance the scales or something, because the people you're dealing with on the cop side feels like you're probably dealing with some of the better cops, but on the survivor side, you're dealing with some of the worst survivors. And so, I know that doesn't really represent everyone, but it's interesting because sometimes you can actually miscalculate that. Like, I believe that, for instance, when we were, I think we did that when we were choosing your, how to frame the characters that you choose at the beginning of Heartland. I think I don't remember exactly how it lined up, but I think we made a guess that players were going to prefer one set of characters over the other set of characters, and so we tried to tip the scales to make the choice more balanced. But we accidentally tipped the scales the wrong way and actually leaned into what the players already naturally wanted to do, and actually we probably, if anything, enhanced the imbalance between the characters rather than compensating for it. I think there's a chance that Dying Light 2 might have done a similar thing, where they might have overcompensated for their guesses about what players were going to want, and it could easily be that could go strangely. But again, I'm in the middle of this storyline right now. I don't really know how it's going to play out, so I am not an expert on what they've done here. So this is a military convoy. This is a thing that I was talking about Z Peekins helped me out with. So here's what I didn't know. First off, this guy right here, who originally scared me off, he's not nearly as scary as he seems. So if you are watching him and dodging, if you make him your main point of focus, he's not that bad. He's if anything, easier to dodge and defend against than some of the other human enemies in the game. He takes a lot of hits, but as long as you're dodging him and stuff, you can actually do pretty fine against him. Though I should heal myself before this battle. So that was the one thing I didn't understand, was how defeatable he was. The other thing I didn't realize was there's a building over there, this green building. Apparently this shows up in all the military convoys. So a lot of the military convoy is really similar to the evacuation convoys, which we've looked at before. They've got a big truck and a little truck, and you can pick their locks. And if you're too slow about it, eventually they'll attract more zombies back in, and you have to deal with those additional zombies. But I absolutely would have missed the fact that this building is over here. That it's got a door that you unlock with your GRE key, and some of the best loot that I've found in one of these like open world challenges was in that room. And so thank you, Z Peekins, for telling me that that was there, because otherwise I never would have figured it out. Okay, so my strategy here is usually to try to attract zombies, like land in the middle of this place, attract zombies to me, and then blow up one of these guys that has a tank on their back. So I think that is what I'll do. That's going to attract some zombies from the outside, but those are actually rewarding zombies to fight, so I'm kind of not too worried about it. So let's jump and land on the head of this guy, and then hit him a few more times until I hear a hiss. And then let's try to get out from the zombies. Okay, then he blew up his friend, who will also blow up, I think. There we go. So we've blown up some zombies. That was not enough zombies blown up. So we're going to try. Okay, so we are hearing some noise from zombies who are... Oh, coming from the outside. Oh, I got hit by a zombie, so I dropped my thing. Let's... Okay, so these little zombies on the ground are not that dangerous, and they also can't climb. But there are some climbing zombies who just showed up because of the noise I made. So I'm going to come up here. So these... Now, because it's daytime, these zombies are weaker. They're constantly burning a little bit from the UV light from the sun. Oh! Oh, gosh! I did not know that he could hit me up here. So that's good to know. Let's put some more distance between me and Big Hammer Man. Maybe we'll come up here instead. So, little chasey guys, are you following me still? It could be that they've also run out because it's daytime. Yeah, I'm not seeing them coming after me anymore, so we might be okay. Oh, I can see, yeah, they're kind of burning on the ground. Okay, so let's try this again. I'm gonna throw that fire bomb on top of a bunch of zombies, and also, I think there's another one that's about to blow up. Okay, so it had an explosion, but it didn't spread a bunch of fire. I wonder why that is. Maybe there's something about the terrain that we're on that means that fire won't propagate the way that it often does in other places. I'm not sure there. But now, let's come up here again. So the little chasey zombies, if they want to chase me, will have to come up here. Again, looks like they don't want to chase me. That's good. I'm taking a lot of time, though, which I think is going to make it harder for me to collect the loot at the end. But so, like, this guy, I think, is one of the chasey zombies. So, yeah. Yep. Okay, time to get serious about killing these zombies now. So one other thing that I can do is I've got Molotovs. So I can throw that at him, which will steadily lower his health. Oh, crap! I forgot which... switching back and forth between this game and State of Decay 2 is so hard. I tried to dodge him with the B button. That's not how dodging works in Dying Light 2. You dodge with RB. Similarly, when I play this game a bunch and I try to dodge in State of Decay, I end up throwing Molotovs at people with RB. Okay, let's take out a few more zombies. Okay, what is he trying to do now? Oh, something hit me from behind. This guy hit me from behind. Oh, okay, you see his hand go back like that. You want to put some distance between you. Okay, luckily he hits his friends, which is kind of fun. Oh, okay, I barely dodged that. Oh! Thank you for clearing out the ads, buddy. Okay, I gotta make sure I'm managing my stamina well. Okay, got him. Now I just gotta clean up his buddies. Yeah, so clearing out a few guys at the very beginning with those explosions, staying out of reach of the little chasey zombies, and then managing him carefully makes these things actually pretty doable. So let's hopefully, before they attract some new zombies in, I can unlock this and get the prizes out of the back of this thing. Come on. It's a hard lock, which means it's really easy to just accidentally... Oh, there we go. Skip over the sweet spot. Ugh. Let's try again. There we go. See you later, Gior. Okay, got some batteries. Oh. Oh, it's night. Is it nighttime now? What's going on? Oh, crap. The sun went down while I was doing this. At least there's no, like, howler types in here. Ugh. Okay, so it looks like I've got some work cut out for me if I want to be safe to unlock this door. Maybe it won't be that bad. Again, without howlers down here, chances are I'll be able to get a little bit of peace and quiet. Oh, great. Armored guy. Oh, come on. So one lesson you always have to learn in game development is, in any game with enemies that you with health, it's not actually fun to fight an enemy that's just got a million health. Because it just ends up being repetitive. Whatever works on them the first time keeps working on them. You just got to do a lot of it. And so as long as this guy's here, I can't possibly unlock the back of that truck. Oh, wait. Okay, I've hacked his legs off. Okay, so we might actually be fine. But it feels like zombies are spawning behind me here. It feels like I might actually not be able to get some peace and quiet. Okay, let's see if I can do this. It's a hard lockpicking job. Let's see if I can manage to not have zombies. Oh, wait, that felt like it went a little bit further. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Ah, dang it, come on. It's somewhere in this zone. There we go. Okay, we got it. And it just had some batteries in it. Great. All right, but this is the thing that Z Peekins told me about. This is where the good stuff is. Now, I don't remember. Okay, so I've already looted it. I looted it the first time I came here. But I promise you, there was some great stuff in here. Okay, all right. So now here's an interesting thing. So this mission that I was about to go try out, and I am about to go try it out. Oh, and it's right next to one of these too. Oh, interesting. This mission was originally during the day, and actually it was pretty reliant on the fact that it was during the day. Basically, the mission involves racing through dark hollows, which are places that are, they're very infested at night. Sorry, they're very infested during the day, but at night they thin out. And so you play that mission during the day. One of the things that's interesting about this mission that I actually think they're doing a lot with a lot of their side missions. A lot of the side missions feel like what they do is they take the expectations you have for the game, like what you normally do, and they try to turn them on their heads. And so in this particular case, there are these places, these dark hollows that you're not supposed to go into during the day because they're so occupied by zombies. And they say, hey, definitely go in them during the day for this mission to sort of give you that experience. And I think that's kind of cool. But I don't know how the mission plays out if you try to play it at night when actually those areas are much less zombie-filled. So I've collected a bunch of weapons, so I'm not too worried about just blasting through them here. I'm sorry, by the way, that I'm not answering things in the chat. I'm actually having a hard time getting to places where I feel safe right now. Maybe up on this rooftop, I can take a little break and read what you all have been saying. Boom, 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 boom. So Raneth Court says, oh, when I was complaining about the zombies spawning near me, he says, oh, unfair zombie spawns? How rude. I think that might be throwing a little bit of shade at State of Decay 2, which will sometimes also spawn zombies right behind you. Oh, and then Cogs is pointing out, respawning loot. That would be silly. Which, I think he's also joking a little bit too. But so this game does have a lot of respawning loot. Like, for instance, these gardens do have respawning loot. So every time you come back, I mean, if you leave and come right back to one of these gardens, it'll still be looted. But every time, I think a day passes, anytime you leave the game and come back, anytime anything happens that would cause these things to despawn, I think, they get replenished. And so I did kind of get the sense that in this game, and also the loot that's in those 2 trucks that I opened up at the military convoy, that also gets respawned. And so I was under the impression that stuff generally respawns in this game, but there are clearly examples where that is not the case. Let me because my infection level or whatever is getting low, let's make sure that I actually stop at a place with UV lights before I try to do any of this mission stuff. So yeah, I've got 1 minute left, but I don't have that far to cover. I got a big open space though. I'm not even sure. Where am I headed? I'm not even sure where I'm headed right now. Oh crap! That wasn't what I was planning. Okay, let's just not have that howler notice me. Nope, it noticed me. Okay, well, let's hope that this house that I, or this safe haven that I marked is genuine. Is it genuine? Okay, this is a bad place to be when you're in a little hole. Is not where you want to be when you're relying on parkour. Okay, there we go. All right. So I've got 22 seconds left. I might end up having to use some stuff. No, dang it. It's this place. Okay. This place is freaking problematic. I forgot where the entrance is. It's right here. Okay, okay, this. Right here. Oh, crap. Nope. I'm gonna use this stuff, even though, okay, I was panicking. I think this is actually a place where I can recharge. It's not? I can't recharge here? What? There's purple light in here. I've come here before. It's marked as a safe haven. Why don't I have UV light here? Oh, that's so weird. Well, where the heck am I gonna go then? I mean, I have to basically backtrack. Is this gonna... Now I'm like... Is any place going to be safe? Nowhere's safe if this place isn't. It's marked with a little green house. That's what it means. It means you're safe here. Okay, you know what? I've got a bunch of these consumables. I'm just gonna eat all the shrooms that I have. Just every shroom. I don't want to just... You didn't come here to see me run around the city trying to get UV light. I'm just gonna like chug just a million mushrooms. All right, there we go. Anyway, I'm glad that we don't have like a stomach filling system here. Okay, so anyway, what was I going to do? I was going to go see what happens with this mission during the nighttime. So, oh gosh. No. Dang it. Okay, so I think I can still end the chase by coming in here, right? Can I? Well, I'm just gonna sit here eating mushrooms, I guess. All right. Well, okay. They can't find me, so the chase level is going down. I just need to. Okay. Here's what I need to do. Once the chase is officially over, I need to go upstairs, leave from the upper window. And not just... Because the street is just full of howlers at all times. I don't know if there's a way to run around on the... Oh, hello. Okay, now I'm in a little tiny hole with a zombie. This is a level 4 zombie. Usually I fight like level 2 zombies. Nothing. Okay, so let's leave from an upper story. So Sarah says that they think that this particular home is actually bugged, and that it actually is intended to work the way it's marked, and it's just not working. And so, okay, cool. I mean, it's a big open world game. It's really hard to stay on top of that kind of stuff, and I'm definitely not going to criticize them too much for having bugs in their game. You know, pot calling the kettle black, that sort of thing. So, keep going up here. Let's run down this way. So hopefully, even though just navigating the world has gotten difficult. Oh, so this guy. I've tried to tackle these guys as like open world challenges, like with a little blue icon over him. The problem is he's often a little bit close to a howler, and so like I end up having to run away from him just to get away from the chase without before I've taken the time to actually finish killing him. All right, so let's see if my boy is here. Oh, this guy. So this guy actually has UV. I could have run to him. I just didn't know. It makes sense that they'd give him UV. Hopefully I'm getting some valuable experience from this, because I don't think I'm getting a lot of loot. Oh, wait, no, that was an uncommon infected. Cool. Whew, how long have I been doing this? I've been doing this for half an hour. Okay, so I think maybe this is actually a good time to do a quick episode break, and then we'll get into how this mission works, and also a few other things that I've been noticing in the game. So let's wrap this up real fast, and let me go have a look at the chat real quick to see what else I've missed. Okay, so ZPkin says that all loot does respawn after a few in-game hours and days in the game. So it could just be that I actually took out that military convoy recently enough that there wasn't enough time for stuff inside that building to respawn. That's entirely possible. They could just be on different respawn rates, in which case, cool, that makes sense. Okay, interesting. So I'm going to wrap this up. So if you're watching this later on YouTube, there's a subscribe button right there. The next video that we're about to make right now live on Twitch is going to be here. So click on that if you want to keep going. And we will try out the second half of this side quest again.